Hey guys, as you can see, this is not your regular PC gaming let's play sort of thing that I usually do. And some of you might not enjoy what I'm doing right here, but others of you might be like, "Yeah, you go." Thank you to both of you because it helps me improve. So you can always post feedback on my videos. Always like a little bit of help and always helps. Anyway, I'm not here today about me. This has nothing to do with, well, it does have something to do with me, but it has nothing to do with my videos or anything like that. It has to do with something that I believe in. Not my religion. I'm never going to talk about that. None of that. It has to do with Twitter. Now you guys are like, what do you mean it has to do with Twitter? You want us to follow you? Well, you can follow me if you want, but you don't have to. No, 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 no. It has to do with Risen Voices on Twitter, Tumblr, and they have a website. Currently, they're just in my city. It's Brockton. I'm not afraid to tell you guys where I live. You guys don't know my name. I gotta track me down. Well, you might track me down, but that's fine. I don't really mind anymore. But no. Recently, some kids from one of the local high school came up to me and approached me, and they were talking to me about stuff. And they were talking to me about this. They said how one of their friends was starting up a thing called Risen Voices. It's anti-bullying. They're following all anti-bullying things. Because anti-bullying is, I know it's over-exaggerated, it's annoying when you have to hear about it all the time in school, but it is like, you think about it, you're like, it's not a thing, and then a week later, you're like, oh yeah, it's a thing, I'm getting bullied now. But if you are the bully, then you're like, oh, it's not a thing, but that kid who you're making feel bad is like, maybe they don't even realize they're being bullied, they just know they're feeling bad. Anyway, the point of this is so that you have somebody there to help you. As it says here, Risen Voices is a way to try and get people to learn about bullying. We can make people hear you. You just need to have Risen Voices. So your voice, you just got to rise up from the crowd. You got to rise up from that group of bullies that's bullying. You got to rise above them if you're being bullied. If you are a bully, rise above that. Don't do it. It's not worth it. I know too many people whose lives have in a way been like almost ruined just by the bullying that's happened to them. Every time you pick or tease or laugh at them amongst your friends and they're there or you don't even know they're going to hear about it and they hear about it, it hurts. It makes them upset. It makes them not want to come to school. It ruins things for them and it's not fun. I don't like it. I know when I was in high school, I wasn't cool. I was bullied a little bit all the time. Happens. I was a little bit different, so I guess that's why. I wasn't 100% like the average kid. I wasn't super cool. I wasn't like. I definitely wasn't super cool. I was everything else, though. It was a little bit weird. It was different. Some people didn't like that. Some people thought it was funny, and then later they'd be like, that's weird. Stop. And I'll be like, I'm not doing anything. I'm being me. You gotta calm down about that. But anyway, the point of Risen Voices. They're there so that if you don't feel comfortable going to a peer, whether it's a friend, which you should always feel comfortable going to your friends. But if you don't, you have them. If you don't feel comfortable going to your parents or a teacher, anything like that, then you can go to Risen Voices and talk to them. They're planning on setting up a way for you to chat with somebody who either is part of it or somebody else who's going through the same situation. It's most likely going to be somebody that's part of it. You can just talk to them anonymously. They're not going to know your name. You don't have to tell them anything about yourself. Just tell them what your issue is. You don't have to say who's bullying you, because you might fear that, like, oh, they go to your school to find out. No, all you got to do is just say you're being bullied. You can explain it. You can talk about why it bothers you, and they can help you work through it. I know a couple of them, and they've been bullied themselves. They've felt left out. They've felt like loners. I know what it is to be a loner. I always have been really super shy, just kind of lonerish. Anyway, their website should be up about the end of this week, next week. You gotta give them time. It's really step-by-step thing. It does take time, but they're there. So what I want you guys to do is, if you can, just click that. Don't click the unfollow button, click the follow button like this. Just click it. That's all you gotta do. It's nothing big, it's just one click. And even if you don't need the help, you're not being bullied, you're perfectly happy, you might know somebody who is, and when they see a feed like this pop up because you retweeted it or something like that, or you mentioned it to them, they might come here, we might be able to help them, and you all of a sudden have a friend who's not going to disappear at age 15, 13, 19. They're going to last until they're 120. They're going to last as long as they can. They will be your friend longer because they will still be around. Yeah, I know, in school you guys got kind of sick of your teachers going, anti-bullying, anti-bullying, da, 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 da. I know I did. But it was a real problem. It's gotten worse as time's gone on. It's become cyberbullying, which is much easier in a way because, yes, you can insult the person in front of them, but when you do it over the internet, more people see. You can only fit so many people in a room. You can fit tons and tons more of that on one Facebook page. So you could post on your page how much you hate some girl, and then all your friends like the status, and then you go on her wall and you insult her, and your friends like that status, and they comment and they're like, yeah, and then all of a sudden her Facebook wall turns into a living hell. Everybody on there is insulting her. She doesn't know why she has a Facebook. She doesn't know why she goes to the same school, and when she tries to switch schools, you guys still follow her. No matter what, they're still there. But with this, we can help you work past that and just get it out of the way and get rid of it. We can just, the point of it is to help you. We're not going to track down the bully and beat him up. That would be mean. That would be bullying in a way, too, because beating somebody up for doing something, it's not right to beat them up over it, unless they hit you first. Then you can do as you please after that point. I'm not going to sit there and be like, no, don't do it. But I'm not going to sit there and cheer you on. I'm going to let you make your decision. At the end of the day, I'm going to be like, you did what you thought was right. But with this, they're here. They're going to talk to you. It's just somewhere to go where you feel safe and you feel like you can tell them. Because a lot of the time when parents or teachers step in, it might not work out the way you'd hope. Or it might not work out the way they hope. It might get a little bit worse now. It might get better. Sometimes, most of the time it gets better. But you guys have probably seen it. Sometimes it does get worse. And if you think it'll get worse, you can come here instead. You can come here and talk to us, and we'll help you through it. Yeah, we're not them, so just because you come talk to us, we're not gonna, they might not immediately stop bullying you, but you might figure out ways to, just ignore it. Eventually they do get bored. I know this. I was in first grade, and this girl kept bullying me and bullying me and bullying me and bullying me. She just wouldn't stop. Second grade came along, and I had this friend a few years older than me, the same grade as her. And it was the first day of school, and she had come in with me. No, she hadn't come in with me. I came in with my little group, and I was hanging out with my little group, and I saw the girl who was bullying me, and I was like, oh no, oh no, oh no. And I was so nervous that day just because of her. I didn't want to go to school that day just because of her. That's happened every day since then. Every time I'm afraid of something, well, I'm out of school now, but when I was in school, every time I was afraid of something, every time I felt like somebody was going to call me stupid or call me a name. Like, if I was wrong, it was weird, but I'd get a stomach ache. Because people always thought I was, so smart trying to rub it in when I wasn't. I was just talking like I thought I was right. So I'd tell them that, and I might word it the wrong way. It happens. And they'd take it the wrong way, and then they'd get mad at me. Or they'd always just automatically think I thought I was smarter than them, when really, in reality, the whole time, I didn't think I was smarter than them. I thought they were just as smart as me. I only stopped liking them as a person once they started to bully me over it. But anyway, so this girl, I had my friend, she came over when the girl started harassing me. She's like, hey, da-da-da, what are you doing? And then she's like, oh, da-da-da-da. She, explained it, and she was like, leave her alone. I didn't have to deal with her ever again. One friend can make that big of a difference, and I'm thankful to that friend to this day, but I haven't seen that friend in a couple years. Actually, more than a couple years. Since a few years after that happened, I had to transfer schools for some weird thing and a bunch of other stuff, and I never saw her again, and I regret it because she was so nice. I could get back in touch with her, but I don't know how to spell her name, so I'm not going on Facebook looking for her. Can't do it. And none of my friends like really knew her because she had moved away shortly after that, but I still saw her at this occasional thing we did. Anyway, they're here to be like that friend was to me. They're here to help you. To help you maybe get the guts to stand up to the bully, or even just get the guts to take it to a teacher in a way that's able to really show the teacher what's happening, because sometimes the teacher doesn't quite get it and they don't believe you because, oh, that's such a great student, when really that student isn't that great because they're sitting there insulting you during the class and teachers didn't even notice. I know it happens. I've seen it and I hate it. So what I want you to do is follow this, spread the word, get it out there. Only if you want to. I prefer that you do, but I mean, it's up to you. But if you do, thank you. If you don't, your choice. That's fine. So just spread the word, get it out there, and eventually we won't just be a little citywide or school-wide thing. We'll go to a citywide thing. Then it'll become statewide. And it can just keep growing until everybody knows about it and they feel safe coming to it and talking to somebody here just to help themselves. Because for us to help you, you have to come to us. We can't find you. That's really hard to do. I can't go through like the phone book of the world and type in each name that looks like they might be bullied, because probably going to wind up with a bunch of people who are perfectly fine and like 6 people that are out of a list of like 1,000. It's hard. You guys have to come to us, and when you come to us, we'll help you. And again, their website should be up by the end of this week, next week, hopefully by this Friday. That's what the co-founder told me. But it might be a little bit later because some of the stuff is a little bit glitchy. My apologies if it is. But their Twitter's up and running. As you can see, it's beautiful. And your name will never be released to anyone. Unless you want them to know your name, you can just tell them directly. If I tell you my name, you can't tell anyone. And they won't. Or you just don't tell them your name. And if they ask, just say, I don't want to. If they don't ask and you want to tell them, then you can tell them. If they don't ask you don't want to tell them, no problem there. But if you don't want anyone to know your name, then they won't. They'll keep it a secret. They'll take it to their grave just because they know how you feel right then. They've been there. They've had a friend help them out, and now that they've been there and they've come back, they're able to help you. Because a lot of the time, the people that do things like this weren't bullied at all. They were never had to deal with that sort of thing. As some people get like the little snide remark of like, oh, you're dumb, oh, you're this, oh, you're that, but it's like 1 or 2 remarks. Yes, it might hurt, but it hurts more when it's repetitive and it's continuous and they come up with new ways to insult you and they use words that they know will offend you because of the way they use it. So just follow it, spread the word, do what you can for it. That'd be great. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next video, which is actually going to be either an FTB or Don't Starve. Thank ya. Bye.